We are live. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate everyone coming to our capital improvements meeting today. Before we get started on the agenda, a few things. One, very happy. I just personally want to welcome Steve, my co-chair, our co-chair for this committee here today. I didn't expect to see it today, so it was wonderful. Back.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And also, as always, thank you. You know, I've been around, I've been nosing around, and I want a special shout out to the team and all of the people making this project possible, and all of our capital projects, the things that we're going to talk about today. Your hard work is not unnoticed, and everything's really looking fabulous. For my fellow board members who may not have been at the last meeting, things are really progressing in the departure hall, and Pete and the team, John, will talk about where we are on everything, but things are looking beautiful. Look out the window when you can get a chance to look at everything. I had an opportunity on 2 occasions to spend time going to look at the children's playroom that's under construction and looking beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful, exciting space. So when you get a chance to head down, and also the sensory room, which was so exciting to the New York State Chief Disability Officer and her team. It was a wonderful tour with them, and just watching it finish up. We had a great visit, and it's a really special place for those who in our public. And last but certainly not least, Concourse A and the new gates. If you haven't had a chance to go down, make sure you go sit in all that beautiful, comfortable furniture that Kathy and I worked on. I will joke, Kevin was teasing me because somebody had her feet on it today, and I wanted to ask her to take it off, but I decided it's not my living room couch, I can't. But it's looking beautiful, and the space, that wide space, Pete and I have been talking also about, a place to sort of explore in Concourse A because of the space within it, to add seating in addition to the art is really, really important. I know I'm not someone that goes to the gate right away. And if you think about our airport and, B and C, A is such a great place to get a bite to eat or to sit quietly. So if you walk down there, some of those spaces, more art is coming, and there are the new installations. Be sure to stop and take a look at all of the new stuff down there, but it's looking beautiful. And I just wanted to thank everybody. Your hard work is appreciated by us as board members. And with that, we will look for our approval of the June 4th minutes. If I can have a motion. Harold, Steve, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Okay. John O'Donnell, will turn it over to you to our project updates that are in item number 2, and certainly more detail than I was able to give on the report hall. I got to go out to peek, and it's really going to be fantastic.
Thank you. I have a brief slide. One of the things that we observed is that our contractor MLB has previously had about 25 workers per day, and maybe up to 30 on some days. What we're seeing now is getting like 55, maybe 6 days, some 8 days. Also working overtime. So we're seeing a little bit of an acceleration of the work effort and the work being done with more quickly than we see in the past. With that, I've got a few slides here. As you see, the current wall is nearly complete. The cornice is mostly done on the opposite side. That's the west side. This is the east side. It's done. This area right here, we're going to maintain this bulk so they can deliver materials for the next 8 to 10 months on the departure hall, which is the second level. So this is going to be the area for delivery materials for the next few months. And also, what they've done is this is a shot of the escalator. My space is going to be a measure for escalators. This picture is about 3 or 4 weeks old. They have all the estimates in. It's going to be very opening up parking lots, having functional power, and all the escalators they need to do now. They need to find poles, power, run the feeders, put the glass balls around the top. All installed right now as from a structural point of view, and they're in play. They're ready for the next phase. This slide here, I'd like to show you that what we're doing in Park Hall, starting with the energy cost. They run the studs, installation, and jig. They're starting that locations. Also, there's sections on the 3rd level over by the west mechanical. Advancing that on with the new park with all the starting floor take place, along with the elevator and the small, which they're starting to excavate and go into baggage claim and see what they're excavating footings and new elevators. So that'll give us with the elevator that we decided to keep in the new elevator. We'll have 2 elevators so that at no time we have no elevators. If one elevator goes down, we always have a secondary backup, and that redundancy is so important here before we dispatch vehicles. Basis. So the ductwork is the main feature of that departure hall. Is the ductwork is really complete. It's around $5 million worth of work, and we can watch it very closely. So it's about 80-90% complete with all the ductwork. So we're starting to see the mechanical systems coming together with the hydronic piping systems, the hot cold water pipes. The sprinkler hangers are going in. The electric service going in these webs is going well along very smoothly the last month. Well, see this going forward as well. And this is moving towards the terminal. This is the 2nd level. This will be the office area, administrative office areas in the future. And this will be a glass wall, about 150 feet. And there's going to be an opportunity to use signage, sign band on here. So all this work is advancing very well. The spray on fire is done. This part of it is 3rd level in the entire departure wall. So work is advancing very well. Okay. So now we're on to a couple of things that the board did approve on September 24. You've asked for a new security lane and some restrooms. So just to give you an update, you might see very soon as they've been designed bathrooms and restrooms that go into the 2nd level. Design document for it to take 7th lane. So the capital markets is the location right here where the 7th lane is going to be. The TSA checkpoint is going to be towards the back. This is going to be the pathway by which that 7th lane is able to function. Allow the people on the big glass wall store their vehicle. Flying down the fire TSA checkpoint. So we needed to open this up to make an accurate exit. 6th and 7th lanes. Happy to do correct. Yeah. Tech Valley, the contract they signed last month, this store is going to be renovated. So there will be a big period of time. This store will be closed. This store is going to be closed. This one's going to be fully operation. So this store is going to be renovated starting around November, December. It's going to be about 5 months renovation. So the closest stay permitted. So this new store opens. This can be closed for that 7th lane configuration of the TSA. So, and going further on that discussion, this is the parking garage right in this area here. The terminal's up in this here, this direction here. Bathrooms are going to be towards the back of. It's all the way around. I'm sorry. I'm getting the bathrooms are down here. Toward the garage end. Okay, and then this is the 7th lane. Sorry, I started to see that. This is the location. Bathrooms towards the end of the garage. The garage is here. It's on the 2nd level, same as the departure wall. And the 7th lane, of course, is going to be next to all the adjacent. That's that area that is a marketplace that's going to encourage that new lane chance thing. So, and this is just all up once again. All I'm showing. This is the seventh lane here. This is the marketplace passageway area. And this is the design. This is just the restaurant. Got basically 3 pictures, each one that's place and a family right here. There's also going to be a vending area for the design. Next, I'm going to ask Kathy to guide us through this. This is some of the artwork that's going to install and at the sensory and the children's players.
So right now, there have been a series of vinyl walls installed in all the soffit area. Right now, we're preparing for some structural adaptations in ceiling that will allow for that large suspended sculpture to be installed. And that's going to be going up on August 25th. Of this play area can be installed, and I expect that the area will be complete on August 29th. So that's great news. And that includes the word graphics, additional wall graphics, suspended sculpture, structures below that are climbing features, that large people's nest feature. So we're all really anticipating how that space is. And then sensory room is largely complete. There are a couple of details that will be completed at the same time as the children's play area is finished. Really good to go back to the curtain on both of those areas.
Right, and the state seems very interested in doing some kind of press thing,
Right.
grand opening. So we'll try to get the highest person we can from the state here.
Right, and we should be sure to invite our friends, which I know you're in
Yeah.
touch with them. I'm sure the chief disability officer and her team here
Right.
and didn't want to leave. They were so excited. I'd love to, really coordinate. The state always dictates the date,
Right.
of course. And so when it gets close, I can get, we'd like to make sure they're all for that as well.
Now, if any of the board members want to take a tour, this is, everything you see here is up. So wall treatments, it's pretty impressive. So if anybody has time.
Before we go to Concourse A, while we're talking about the terminal expansion, it's a great opportunity, which again, we have a very full agenda at our regular board meetings, so it's nice to take a deeper dive. So I really would welcome the board if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the details around the grants or the project. Now's the time. One quick question, which Kevin and I were chatting about, he asked a great question, was the furniture. I don't remember in our conversations, I know we have a lot more furniture coming. And what are we doing with the old furniture? And I know we're repurposing as much as we can. Is there anything being done with anything that's not, I don't know.
That's not the whole room seating. With the cover, taking off a purple fabric and inserts going on to make it look like it's brand new.
Oh, okay.
So that's a problem.
Okay.
That's a working process. So you can transition to new areas.
So it's up to the base
You
state.
got it. Stop. Yep. Don't stay.
And there's new,
Remember this story.
I know.
I got to hear the story today.
new similar seating in Concourse A, in the new Concourse A. It's just a little bit more comfortable and it has all the
All the
plugins.
plugins,
Yeah.
and yes, we took a
You saw it,
quick walk down, yeah. No,
Pretty
we're
impressive.
beautiful, very excited about all the new furniture. And as it relates everywhere, Kathy and I made sure everything has plugs everywhere. One of the other questions I had on furniture, and I can't remember because I think when we walked through, really important to add seating in many airports, one of the most attractive things are in those wider concourses to add seating. Do we have any new furniture designated for that, or will we be?
I think very minimal, but I think we're gonna be coming back to you for sure purchase on that.
Okay, I just think we don't want to put anything on,
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful space. A is so wide and there is some seating there and there's going to be more art installations. But we discussed one of them, I think is very important, is to add as much seating as possible because we can. There's,
Well, John will have a better answer for that.
Yeah.
When are the gates that are now under construction?
Like,
Or Matt's gonna do.
oh yeah, that's the next agenda item. Are there any other questions about the departure hall and any of that? Everybody good? Okay,
Yeah, we can also walk you right out the door here if you want to take
Yeah,
a quick
that'd be
glance at
great.
that. It's pretty impressive.
it is. It's great. Okay, Matt, you're up. Terminal A. Now Harold, go.
Sorry.
I know.
Overlay phase one has been completed and the 9, it does look gorgeous after down there, and we were able to use our first flight was last Wednesday, Allegiant on the A1. So A1 and A2 are fully functional, united. Use A2.
Thanks.
Phase 2 is now underway, removal of ductwork, carpet, all that. That is anticipated to be completed in December. So A2, A3, and A4 will be down. We will work obviously with them to make sure it's not right over holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So that'll be, that's right now trending to be mid-December, and that's when we the gates, the A5 and A6, take that area over. So like we always have 4 active gates. That's we're up and we're
So are these up staying at 1 and 2, or you?
So Allegiant would stay at 1 during this time, and United then would be A2, A3, A4 as we do 5 and 6. And as all 6 come back, United would go back to 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6. Allegiant would go back to 3, and then you'd have to ask these guys who takes over A1 and A2 about common use as of right now. I like that C1, A1, A2, common use. Any question, I would go, I recommend going down, or I'll bring anyone down and see if you have any questions you want to walk through.
First freeze.
Breeze would be on C1. Yeah, you could go C1 as of right now.
There's the Southwest.
Very well at A1. Any specific questions happy to ask? I know one question you may have, we will have the anticipated change order.
Okay, and that's regarding for A1,
It's part of phase 1. There was some work.
phase 1.
Yeah, some work preventive outside for the gates, A1 and A2.
think we
And
talked about
structural steel, custom plates.
Okay, so that's the only change order
That'll be the only change order.
for that.
Yep.
And how about, anything related to the other project, anything, not this month, so all's quiet on the chain. Okay, great, thank you.
Just to add that we're working in the chain.
No,
They're in process. Didn't have any,
nothing for Monday.
right, nothing for
Right.
Monday, but, crunching the numbers in the contract.
Great. Sure.
How to finalize.
September will probably be busy.
And that's fine, and most of the board is here, and I have a call with Sam following up from this meeting right after, so it's not a problem, just to make sure we're all informed. Sometimes we get a pile of change orders, so I appreciate the update on there. It'll be a quiet month. Yeah, for September, that's fine, this month quiet, okay. Very good, so we're all set on. Great. John, your list is ready for you.
Love when I run the table.
I do.
Again?
No,
Now,
terminal elevator replacement, as we speak, elevator number 11, which is being concourse by Southwest, is being tested, so that'll go into service tomorrow. And they're gonna move down to elevator number 10, which is way down at the end of the concourse. That's a 3-story elevator. The ESA offices are up on the third up on that. So that'll be the next one they go to work on. Air traffic control tower, the HVAC upgrade, we thought we were complete, and we found an issue on one of the lower floors, so I'm working with Sage Engineering to get that corrected. I expect that to close out in September. Runway 119 rehab. So the grooving, the runway is being grooved as we speak, at night. They do it at night, and they plan to be done by Friday night. Completed with the grooving. Center line lights are being all replaced. They expect to have those turned on Friday night too. So we will still have a lot more electrical work with the TDCs, the touchdown zone lights. And the threshold bars for the upgraded for the Mauser that we did with in concurrence with the FAA's plans that upgrade the Mauser next year. And then the striping, the permanent striping is scheduled for the week right after Labor Day, the week of Labor Day, but obviously not on Monday. That week they're scheduled to come in all the permanent striping, and then that should go get ready to close down. Temperatures A6, B6. I'm waiting on one part. They're running one of the rooftop units on for temperature A6. We got the new top, the rotunda to the building. We saved the rotunda. We didn't replace it. There's a HVAC unit, a small RTU that I'm waiting to get. It's being shipped right now. I expect it next week, and they'll put that up, and then we'll close this one in. The GA apron, the board approved the Bradford Burns contract, and right now we're just in the planning stage of this. We don't anticipate really starting any work on this until April. Reason being is the first 2 phases are where we have our major de-icing pad for the winter, and by October 15th, it has to be ready to go, and there's no way we can get that done. So we will start that in April. That'll be a 2-season job. There's at least 9 phases, and there may be more. Yeah, well, we have to keep we have to keep Millionaire working, ARF working, the hangars option, and Piedmont working. So a lot of phases to keep everything running.
Keep the revenue coming.
Absolutely. My traffic signal upgrade. I have a conference call this afternoon with Lisa Raimondo from the county to coordinate what we're doing with our traffic signals. The equipment's ordered as soon as it gets in. Steve, they tell me 3 days to put it in, and then we'll be up and running. And then the county's did their contract, and Stillsy got that too. So they're going to be following us and do the same thing all the way down to corridor, all the way to Route 7. They're going to do all the lights all over. So they will all work the same beyond the main system. Which will be nice. I don't
Volunteer to be a fighter.
Fuel climb, fire suppression. I've been working with one of the vendors, which is United Fire Suppression. They manufacture and install their equipment. It's currently in manufacture. There's been a couple of RFIs. I've worked with Brand Engineering to answer, and just waiting on a delivery date for that equipment. Get that one forward. I expect to have that done before winter, so the fire suppression system. Mauser lights. I just got an email Monday from the FAA ATO. They are still on track to do the Mausers next season. There is some issues with what else is new wetland permits and DEC and all that stuff. But they're working through it. I have a conference call with them next week to strategize how we're going to get that to go forward and keep that rolling because we need those done. So we'll work through it and get that done. Keep that going.
Is this, like we had talked about, is this, this is ahead of schedule?
Well,
That
what we
we
did,
had-
no,
we-
well, what we did is we did the threshold bar at the end of the runway and the threshold bar at the end of the blast pad, which is 200 foot. All these towers are what's going to happen next year. And when you go across the street into the Angles property, there's an irrigation pond that Angles had years ago that they pump water to irrigate the fields and the crops. And our Mauser lights, our foundation sit right along that, so we have to encroach a little bit and get into the wetland a little bit. Get the foundation.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
And then the transformer project, that's the 79 building transformer upgrades. We actually have a meeting with National Grid and DLC, who is the contractor for this job, this afternoon. We're going to meet with them and discuss our schedule and how it's going to work. Grid is, the board approved their proposal, so the Grid has received their check, they have their money sitting in escrow. So they're ready to go with us. We gotta work with them and DLC to set the schedule and make that happen. I see that starting this fall, DLC will probably do most of the site work. Get the conduits in, the foundation, get the wall moved and everything. Ready to come in probably first thing in the spring, set the. Any questions?
Projects?
The departure hall, what's the sequencing timeline?
Underneath. So,
Today, a good day to ask.
yeah, it is a good day. Currently, that roadway, they have to keep jumping back and forth in order to, they can't ever work over live traffic, so they have to keep jumping back and forth. So that roadway, the detours to that roadway will stay through probably into the spring, I would say, late spring.
That does.
It does bottleneck the traffic. We're trying to do the best we can, but
And I know everybody is doing, but one thing I did see today, several, not just one, several cars are waiting for people. They are not dropping off. And I don't know, it's a rough thing to control, and I know how hard everybody's working, but I purposely, I mean, there was a line in front of the new garage. They were all just sitting there. No one was in their car. They were dropping off. And then somebody had to back up a little to let me into the lot. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is, but it is definitely a problem. And I have never had a problem driving through all the changes. You have all done a wonderful job on moving traffic. This is not that issue. This is just people not following the rules, and I'm not sure. But I did today notice it was pretty bad.
I'll address that to some extent, and I'll let John do it.
They're even jumping out of the cell phone lot. I almost got hit on the way here. They just jump out without even looking.
I mean, it's difficult, but we are constantly monitoring it. John and I and all the other senior staff, if we see a problem, we try to resolve it on the spot, but we can't be there the whole time. We have a team out there, PI, which is the investigators, but they're traffic monitors. Dave Monteverde's on the task force. He meets with operations with the sheriff's office, the PI, to monitor it. We do show some leniency if people are parked next to the south garage, waiting to get their call. They sort of leak out. We don't bust their chops too much, but if we see a clog up, that's where we get excited in lines, and then we try to find the source of the clog, and we try to break it up and tell people to move along. I mean, I jump out there, John jumps out there.
And I know you can't watch it every time. It just happened to be that I noticed today that, and the cars were flowing. It was strictly people waiting. It was the traffic piece is fine.
Yeah.
This was,
Turn into the.
yeah, say it too.
Yeah,
So.
that shouldn't be. Yeah, that shouldn't.
Somebody
Sign there.
Yeah, they were blocking the,
Yeah.
they were, all right, yeah,
Like
obviously.
if you were in the left-hand lane and try to
Yeah.
go around.
Yeah,
And do they have people down there to shoot people?
They
They-
do now.
so they're supposed to
So
be
they
going
moved
back.
away, and I was like-
They're supposed to be going back. We should have done a better job. Okay. Yeah.
And you're allowed to.
That's what they did to me too.
So you're just doing that.
Okay.
Very
They're super polite.
Yeah.
But back to the police, back to that,
Yeah.
overseeing it, I had, like, one guy was blocking the entire thing, and they're taking pictures.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, like, that's not the time for taking pictures, so, it's like, follow the rules, people.
Right. So we were trying to be vigilant. Oh,
Yeah, no,
I don't know if you had anything.
The only thing that our office, discussions that, to alleviate some of that, you saw there, you're waiting, is expansion of the cell phone line. And there is, some area available that we can, double it, maybe triple it. And then with some better signage and running a fit board down there as well. This was up airports too, they have large monitors, it's like going to the drive-in movie theater where you can see in your car with the arrival, so.
Oh, yeah.
We're well there. Sarasota's the, right, where I wait in that lot. We pick up something that's on the table, we're discussing it. We don't have drawing, but it's something that we should do as we get busier. But a lot of this, a lot of congestion is a result of the construction because, the length of our curbside has been diminished greatly with the construction activity. So all that more curbside drop off space.
As that,
But the waiting of the cell phone line is something we should explore even when we do get back.
sure. Right. People off, at other airports, we all know, you cannot do it. They chase you. I mean, there's a lot of security and a lot of policing. At JFK, they barely give you time to get in your car if someone's picking you up. So I think it's something to think about. But and again, today is a busy day, and there's nothing we like more than seeing a lot of people at this airport. I think it's great. So I just wanted to mention it. The last question before we move on to any planning updates. Which we talked about, but I just wanted to follow up on the vending that's possibly going into the new departure hall down by the bathrooms.
Right.
That's not we talk about not blocking the beautiful view out the windows and all of that.
Well, it's behind the bathrooms. It's in a little alcove. So that will not block any view.
Perfect. I know we were talking about, and I know there were some opinions about bringing more in there, but I think it's important. Okay, perfect. Very good.
Has there been any talk about the magical?
That missing piece,
Yeah.
we're gonna put a film on it. Yeah. Somebody called it the missing tooth. Somebody called it the missing tooth. Not you, I don't think, but
So
somebody.
Joe?
Okay, very good. And our last agenda item would be our planning updates. Dave?
So master plan, we have no updates on NYSERDA. We just got back the final number. It's like getting investing for the project. Okay, got the number. Okay, clear. So that's something we gotta look at, but that's the update there. Geothermal.
So it's sort of still exploring.
It's a follow-up conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be, my opinion, and, Harold hasn't been here, but NYSERDA commissioned us, gave us a grant to do a study for geothermal. And that's all well and good, but the actual implementation is gonna be very expensive, so.
Did you say 50?
Yeah, 50.
Actually implementing will be highly unrealistic.
No, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should talk about that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I think if it's not realistic, it's certainly something that we should talk about as a board. Not right now, you're still having conversations, but most certainly a study is great.
Yeah,
But a $50 million project, what's the return on that investment?
yeah,
It's not something, so
none of
I
us will
would
be here
agree.
when we break even.
Exactly. So I think, that's something we should, I think that's something we should talk about, just take off, we can't do everything that we'd
Right.
like to do. So,
We have started that conversation. I certainly.
I think-
Study that it's appearing to be fiscally not feasible for us to do this
Right.
type of work. So we're gonna try and close out the grant, the design grant as best we can. CHA's committed to supplying them with 80% drawings. You would finish it because you have that
Right.
parameters to close the grant out, leave it at that. 'Cause the
Have-
payback time is huge. I don't even tell you how many years it's scary. So it's just physically, it's just not gonna.
No, and it's very often, I mean, my experience in nonprofit has been, very often people like, wow, we got a grant, but grants can cost money and not all programs are worth having and would not be fiscally responsible. So we appreciate that. So we'll to be continued. So, does anybody have any Any more questions about the projects? I am going to entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the particular corporation. If I could have a motion. Yep. Second, Steve, all in favor? Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your hard work.